We start with 1 hour chart. Okay, if we refer to our analysis when the price was here, we mentioned if we want to look for buy, the best things is let the price to drop and retest this low. As we can see, exactly this is what happened. But later we get this pop. The way it's moving is really corrective. We didn't have the proper trade setup. Even if we look, we have been looking for this. Even if we get the buy, the way it's moving is, I mean, it's really corrective. If anyone is in the buy, they should move their stop loss to break. I mean, better they take out the trade. For me, this is what I think because the way it's moving is really corrective. It doesn't mean this one cannot continue. Even there is, it can continue as a corrective, or even we get the sharp move. Okay, but now the question is how we can look for trade. What we have here, can we expect this one to give us one more drop? As we can see, to give us a running flat for one more up. Still we can look for this. Okay, but for long term, how we can trade it? In this case, we start with higher time frame with daily chart. All right, as we can see, based on daily chart, after we get this sharp move, this is the correction. I think this correction can be more complex before we get the next move because of simply because of this sharp move. See what we have here. We had this sharp move, and this is what we get. That's why this correction mostly we can expect to be more complex rather than what we have here for the next move. Okay, and if we move to forward chart, we want to see how we can trade. As we can see, based on forward chart, we have one move down, we get this tree. We had a flat here, but as we can see, this is couldn't move. What I think is still this one can be internal correction in relative to this. That's why if for me, if I want to trade, the best things if I get one more drop with the breakout of this low. Then from there, I will see how we can look for trade. Any trade for at the bottom, I will take it when the price come to the top. We start to manage. Why? Because I don't think even if this one turn to a correction for one more drop, I don't think this one can be the one is going to break the top because at that times we will have this internal correction. We can expect one move up, then we can have 1 2 3. We get one move down, similar to what here. That means this one we tend to really complex before we get the next move. Okay, we don't need to care about that. But the only things I can say, what we have here, the best things if we get one more drop, at least to finish this one internal correction, it's in relative to this. Any buy from there, I will take it. When the price come to the top, if I see there is a continuation, I will keep. If not, I will take out the trade. This is the how we can trade for long term. But how about if we get a correction here? Maybe still we can look for a trade. And with the breakout of this top, we start to manage this top. I mean 0.00368. Okay, but right now we don't have a trade setup. Okay, and if we move to 15 minutes, sorry, 1 hour chart, as I mentioned earlier, the way it's moving is really corrective. As I explained, based on forward chart, maybe this one we can put as an internal correction relative to this. That's why the best things, the best option if I get one more drop. At least with after the breakout of this, we see whether the price can take this low or not. But then any reversal from there, we can look for buy. The only times I will look for buy from here, even we mentioned based on 1 hour chart, I mean earlier, this one can tend to a running flat in relative to this. Maybe we can look for one move up. In that case, the only way we can look for trade based on 15 minutes. But I don't think based on 15 minutes, this is what we get. Unless this one turn to deeper correction. Okay, we want to see how we can trade it. But what I want to explain based on 1 hour chart that if you want to look for long-term trade, whatever right now based on 15 minutes is just a short-term trade. Okay, it's like we get one move down, any buy from there after the breakout of the top, we start to manage. But the best thing is if this one turn to a correction for buy, similar to what I draw here. Then maybe we can put this one relative to this. We can look for buy with either with the breakout of desktop or here we start to manage. It depends how fast this go. If it's move as a sharp, we keep the trade, but as a corrective, we don't keep the trade because we know the possibility for one more drop. This is the best we can look for. Well, the reason I mention is the best because after the price drop with the breakout of this low, which is 0.0028, any reversal it can give us a good trade setup because we're looking for any trade similar to what we have here. When we're talking about the reversal similar to what we have here, exactly, see, we had the sharp move, flag, continuation. This is what we're looking for. We are not looking for the buy to move as a corrective. We're looking at the buy with the sharp move, flag, the next move can give us really sharp. This is what we're looking for. That's why every time I mention, if we get one more drop to finish this correction in relative to this, then from there we can look for reversal. Again, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue. Even the price can continue as a corrective, but we cannot get a really good trade setup because our point is to get similar to what we have here. Okay. By the way, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, any proper trade setup, I will share. Thanks.